All right, folks, listen. This is a live stream and this is new information, okay? But there's, of course, obviously, I'm going to be showing things I've talked about before in order to lay the foundation, right, for what I'm showing. And like I said, that the two biggest events so far on American soil has been Pearl Harbor and 9/11. Okay, as far as being attacked, America, it's the two biggest events ever. Okay, was 9/11 and Pearl Harbor. And the third one, because everything comes, they always do things in threes. Okay, I'm not going to get into why, but anyway, so the third event is this Washington State event on June 11th. Okay, and the only thing I didn't know was the year of this event that's going to happen in Washington State. Okay. So you need to get out of Washington State before June 11th. Okay. Every year I've been saying these same two predictions that on June 11th, there's going to be a horrific event in Washington State. Okay. And that's on June 11th. And then on August 4th, Trump gets his head wound. Okay. So August 4th is coming up. So like I said, it's still on the table that Trump gets his head wound on August 4th, most likely in Ohio. Okay. But for sure, it has to be on August 4th. And if it doesn't happen this year, then it's going to happen next year. Like I said, I just didn't know the year, but it has to be while Trump is still, you know, that people still actually like him. You know what I mean? His followers. Because soon, if he stays in, people are going to hate him more and more every minute. But anyway, so uh, so those are my two predictions: June 11th, Washington State; August 4th, Trump head wound. Anyway, so in this video, just like I connected the last, if you saw my last live stream, then you know that all these events, these three events, have to connect to each other. Okay, it has to connect to 6/11 and 8/4. And I proved that in that last live stream. So go watch that last live stream if you haven't watched it yet. It explains to you all the connections, and I'm going to be showing more. This is the second video to that, and then you have a third and a fourth. But it's not second part, third part, fourth part, because they're different connections. You know what I mean? But they all connect to the 6/11 and 8/4, my two predictions. Okay. Anyway, so in this video, first let's start with. And by the way, make sure you thumb up the video, okay? And then comment under the video section after the video's loaded. Okay, so again, let's just give you a little bit of a recap of what we showed in that last video, but very little I'm going to be showing here about that. All right, so I told you my two predictions is Washington State, June 11th. Okay, they're going to take a chunk out of it on June 11th and to get out, and then Trump head wound most likely in Ohio, but for sure August 4th, right? 6/11 and 8/4. Now, so the Pearl Harbor, let's start with Pearl Harbor because that's the first big attack, right, on American soil. Pearl Harbor happened on 12/7, the date. And I told you that 12 times 7 equals 84. So it connects, 12/7 connects to the 8/4 so far, okay? Now, how does it connect to 6/11? Because we need 6/11 to connect to August 4th, all right? And so the date 12/7 Pearl Harbor, look at this. So the exact date from Elvis's birth, because Elvis is the Antichrist, Trump is the Antichrist in the flesh. Elvis is the real Antichrist, okay? Trump is his image. Anyway, so Elvis's birth, from Elvis's birth to the exact day Pearl Harbor happened, is 6 years, 11 months exactly. You see that? 6/11. So what are you seeing? Okay, what you're seeing is 12/7 Pearl Harbor happened. 12 times 7 is 84. 8/4. 12 times 7 is 84. I mean, what I just showed. And how many years and months is in between Elvis's birth and Pearl Harbor? 6/11. 6 years, 11 months. You see? So 6/11 connects to the 8/4. Okay? And then And then from that day, from Pearl Harbor to 6/11 next year is 84 years and a bunch of months and days. But I explained what that's about. But right here, 84 years. See, that's what they were waiting for. They were waiting for the 8/4 to connect to the 6/11 because the 6/11 connects to the 8/4 here. Okay, from Elvis's birth. Okay, so it has to connect to 6/11 and 8/4. Do you understand? Because from Elvis's birth to Pearl Harbor, 6 years, 11 months. From Pearl Harbor to 6/11 is 84 years. You see? 6/11, 84, 6/11, 12 times 7 is 84. You understand? So it connects, okay? Now, like I said, if you think these are coincidences, let me just show you a few more connections. So if you take all the prime numbers for next year's event, 6 times 11, okay, 6 times 11, I mean, the Pearl Harbor, the next year's event on June 11th in Washington State, here's the prime numbers for it. These are the prime numbers. Okay, 6, 11, 20, and 26. These are the prime numbers for that. Adds up to 216. Okay, and what is 216? August 4th, the 216th day of the year. So 6/11 next year on 2026 connects to the 216. August 4th is the 216th day of the year. You see? And, here's some more connections. If you add up all the numbers between 1 through 63, it equals 2016. And that's when Trump was elected and he took over from Obama. And, and Obama was still president then, of course. And Obama's born on August 4th. And August 4th is the 216th day of the year, the day Trump gets his head wound. And you see 216, And by the way, June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. So it's connecting, same numbers, 162, 216. But anyway, so the reason I showed you the 63 is, remember, it was 6, 11, 20, 26 equals 63. Okay? 6, 11, 20, and 26 equals 63. That's why I was showing you that, okay? And I told you that, Trump's on 8/4, Obama's born on 8/4, and that's why he was the president right before Trump. And 12 times 7 is 84. And by the way, Trump's born on 6/14. 6 times 14 equals 84, okay? 6 times 14 equals 84. That's when Trump is born. And he's going to get his head wound on 8/4, Obama's birthday. And remember, Pearl Harbor happened on 12/7. 12 times 7 is 84. 84 is the 216th day of the year. Elvis Aaron Presley, his full name, if you just add it up to what it is in the alphabet, is 216, the total. If you add up Elvis Aaron Presley. And 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216, right? And I told you that from Elvis's birthday to Pearl Harbor is 6 years, 11 months. There's your 6/11. And 12/7 was the date. 12 times 7 is 84. So the 6/11 connects to the 8/4. All right. And then the square root of 162 is 12.7. Why am I showing you this? Because June 11th is the 162nd day of the year, right? So June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. 160, the square root of 162 is 12.7. And what is 12.7? That's Pearl Harbor's date. 12.7 is 8/4. And I just showed you 12 times 7 is 84. And I just showed you it was 6 years, 11 months from Elvis's birthday. So the 6/11 connects to the 8/4. The square root of 162, June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. The square root of 162 is 12.7. And Pearl Harbor happened on 12/7. And now, how does it connect to 9/11? Look at this. I'll show you more connections later, but look. The square root of 6/11, because remember earlier I just showed you 162, which is June 11th, the 162nd day of the year. The square root of 6/11 is 24.7. The first three numbers is 24.7. And from Elvis's birthday to 9/11 is 247 days. And the 6/11 connects to the 247, and it connects to 8/4. Okay? 6/11 connects to the 8/4. 247 from Elvis's birthday is 247 days to 9/11. See what I'm talking about? It's all connected. Okay, that's what I was trying to show you. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, okay, make sure you guys thumb up the video. Now let me show you a video. Now let me tell you guys something. I don't usually show uh, animated or cartoons to prove anything. I have shown so many hundreds and hundreds of examples of why this, what my two predictions are about and why they're going to happen. And maybe I've shown one cartoon or two cartoons, you know what I mean, out of the hundreds of rituals and examples, okay? But I have to show you this because it's very important, okay, that I show you this particular one because this animation was so well made and it's foretelling stuff. And this particular company or whoever they are, their name is Heliofont, Heliofant, Heliofont, and they put out this one video, this animated video, and it was like I said, it was so well made, right? And do you know why I know they're foretelling the future? Because the word Heliofont equals exactly the words Holy Bible. Every number in Gematria is the same as Holy Bible. Holy Bible equals Heliofont. And that's the name of the channel that put out the video called I Pet Goat 2. Okay, and guess what I Pet Goat equals? Elvis God. If you put Elvis God, it equals I Pet Goat. Exactly. Every number is the same. Just like Heliofont equals Holy Bible. Anyway, let me just show you this particular part of the video. I can't play the whole video because it'll get maybe a copyright. But I'm just going to play one segment of it. Okay? I want you to see what's going on here. Okay, get ready. Here it comes. Focus on what I'm showing in the video, please. Don't talk about anything else. Don't distract me or I'm going to ban you. All right, so let's watch this. See this? See this part right here? Right now. Watch. Right here, coming. Hold on, I went back too far. I don't want to show it because I don't want to play too much of it. Hold on. All right, let me see. It's about to come up right now. There, right there. You see right here? Now, something right here. Okay? First of all, this person is holding something, and I've shown what this is about a long time ago. I'm going to prove it again to you with some added bonus to it. Now, check this out. So, this creature is holding something, and it's in water. This is like some kind of water. And you know how you know it's in water? Because look, it's in a shell. Okay, and I'm going to tell you what this is representing. And no, I don't know whether these are ships. I don't know whether these are ships that are going into the water or something. And these are volcanoes going off or something's exploding, whatever. All right. Now, what this is representing Pearl Harbor. Okay. So they're basically telling you it's the second Pearl Harbor. And now what I want to show you, okay, let me take this off the, now I'm just going to show you some images, okay, that way you can see what I'm about to show. Give me a second here. what I want to focus real quick before I explain to you why I'm saying it's this particular person. Notice that on that woman who was dressed all in black, and I'm going to explain what it's all about in a moment, but notice that, I don't know if you can see, you see the white part of the line? It looks like a one and a one. Do you get what I'm saying? Like the white part. See the white part? It looks like a one and a one, like two buildings, a towers, like an 11. And then this, if you take it, it looks like the stripe. You see this right there? It looks like a six. So you have a 6, 1, 1. Now, I'm not saying this is anything, but for some reason in my head, when I first saw this, I don't know why I saw like an M or something in my mind. I don't know what made me think that this creature was Meghan Markle. I have no idea why I thought it, because I think that when it first came out, I think that Trump. I mean, when I first saw it, that Trump and Meghan Markle were arguing with each other or something. I have no idea. I don't know why. I think she was in the news with stupid. What's his name? The Prince Harry. Anyway, so because I'm not saying it looks like her. I don't know. I just thought it looked like an M for some reason. Anyway, and the reason I'm saying this, because look at this. Where is it? What is this person holding? Look. You see what it's holding? You see how it's holding the perfume? Okay, now watch. Watch how I connect it all. So it's holding this perfume bottle. Okay? Now watch. I'm just asking you, are these coincidences? So Meghan Markle, she was in some movie where she holds a perfume bottle in her hand, okay? And look at the shape of it. It kind of looks the same, okay? And I'll explain to you why it's so important what I'm about to show you, okay? So it's wearing it has a perfume bottle in its hand. And the movie where she wears that, where she has that perfume bottle. Let me see if I can find them. Where is it? Yeah. Look at the name of it. The movie was called, see, it says she was her modeling perfume has resurfaced following rumors of something to do with Christian Dior. Look, it's got the Di, like Princess Di. Dio means God, and that was my favorite singer, by the way, Dio. And OR equals 33, so you have the DI and OR, and DI connects to my birthday because D and I is 4 and 9. My birthday's 9/4. But look, the movie was called Antisocial. You know, kind of like Antichrist, get it? But Antisocial, the movie was called, okay? Where she's holding that perfume bottle, okay? And why is this important? Okay, besides the fact that she's holding that, see, when is she born, this creature? She's born on 8/4. Okay, see, that's what the key is here. Now, remember, we're talking about Pearl Harbor because she's in a harbor and she's in, hold on. She's in this, oh man, I'm gonna, stupid phone. She's in a seashell. She's in a shell. You see that shell? And why am I showing that? Because look at this. What comes in a shell? Pearls, right? And guess what? Meghan Markle's canceled Netflix animated series called Pearl. What in the hell? What is this? I mean, think about what I'm showing here. What is this? So she was going to have a show called Pearl. And it's something to do with Pearl Power. Look, it's got the PP reference, which I explained to you. Do you see what I'm saying? Isn't that crazy? All right, so the creature had a Netflix thing that was canceled called Pearl. Okay? And give me a second to find this. Anyway, give me a second here. It's so weird. It's like when you think you have everything, in order and you don't have it. But I'm just gonna ask it. Is Hawaii known for pearls? Yes, Hawaii is known for pearls. Particularly, they give you a certain connection. Uh, so Hawaii, obviously, I guess that's why they name it, right? Pearl Harbor. Okay, and and Elvis's favorite vacation place is Hawaii, right? What was Elvis's favorite vacation place? Look, see, it says Hawaii. You see, Hawaii, Hawaii. Okay, Hawaii. Now, and who was born supposedly in Hawaii? Obama. And when was Obama born? August 4th, the same day this creature is born, Meghan Markle. See, the reason listen, it has nothing to do with Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle is just a actor in this charade, okay? And that's why Prince Harry took this creature to be his wife, right? Or whatever it is. But anyway, so and there was controversy about the first kid that supposedly the creature wasn't even pregnant with the first one, but the second one it looked pregnant, but the first one it didn't, right? You remember that? Anyway, so pearls, and is there such a thing as twin pearl in a shell? Look at this. Yes, it's possible to find twin pearls, sometimes called twin pearls, with a single oyster shell. You see that? There it goes. Another connection with the twin. Pearl Harbor, twin, okay? Because this is it. This is the twin Pearl Harbor, okay? And now watch. Now notice, besides the perfume in her hand, what else is a weird connection? Remember, the creature's born on August 4th. So remember, she's holding the perfume. You can't see it now. It's on this side of the picture. So this was the rest of what's connected. And she's holding a child you'll see the child's face later. But look, why is it bent to the side like that? And obviously it's morning. It's dressed like in all black, And you could say it's, something from the Middle East, how they dress in those burqas. Is that what it's called or something? Whatever. But really, it's mourning. Death. It's death. That's what they're showing you here. But look, why is her head like that? Because of this. You see? It's a football. It's the trophy. You see how you see the arm? This is the arm right here. See it? Okay, it's the football. You see how her head looks like a football? See, it's a football trophy. And why am I showing you this? Why are they showing this football trophy? Because it's called the Vince Lombardi trophy. Okay? Vince Lombardi is born on June 11th. Okay? You understand what I just showed you? So this creature is born on August 4th, is Meghan Markle. August 4th, shaped like a football trophy. The trophy is the 611 because it's named after him, who's born on June 11th. You understand? Because everything has to connect to the 611 and August 4th, okay? And remember, she's in a shell because that's what this has to be. This has to be, they're saying it's the next Pearl Harbor, you know? Hold on one second. And like I said, she's in a shell, you know? Now, before I show that, let me see if I showed everything here. Oh, you know what I want to show you real quick? Who was the people that were going to do that that movie, that Pearl, Meghan Markle Pearl Netflix thing? It was called Archwell Productions. You see that? AP, which is 116, the letters. That's a 611 also. You know? And what else? Just real quick here. Let me a second. I told you it's it's not going to be too fluid, this video, but it is what it is. Oh, in that video, let me go back to the video real quick. Hold on one second. You notice this right here? So they bombed this spot right here. So they bombed this thing that looks like a mosque or something. I don't know what this is, but look, that looks like a space needle too. You know, the top of the space needle, the head, or it could be representing whatever. It looks like a head too, and of course it's water, and it's got that needle. See, what I'm trying to say is they don't want to specifically say it's the space needle. Obviously, they're going to, not going to give you the whole thing, but it's got a needle. Do you understand? It's like giving you two representations here. I mean, two interpretations in one. Do you understand? Does anyone follow what I'm saying here? Do you guys understand that part right here? Can you give me some feedback on this? Am I making any sense with this? Okay. Yeah, so they're giving you two things they're connecting, okay? Now, where's the needle? This thing right here. What I'm trying to say is they're not going to make it perfect. You don't understand? They can't give it to you perfectly. You know what I mean? Then people are going to be like, oh, they're talking about the space needle. They're giving you, yeah. Anyway, let me just show this real quick. Give me a second here. Then they showed this kid. This is who she was holding. The Meghan Markle creature. This is what she was holding in the... Oh, I know what it was. Meghan Markle, I think she first had a kid. That's why she was the only one who had a kid at the time. That's why she was in the news. And Trump was also connected with that because they hated each other. But she was, and that's why I thought of her, because she was the only one that was famous that had a kid at that time. That's why. Anyway, notice the kid has one eye, like the Antichrist connection. You understand what I'm saying? Because remember, she's born on August 4th. Okay? And notice his one hand is damaged, but this one is not. I think it's outside. So remember, the Antichrist, one of his eyes and one of his arms is messed up. Okay? Okay, well, like I said, I'm just throwing stuff out there, and I'll get to more connections. Just hold on. I'm just going to show you one more thing here off of this stupid video. So right here. So, see right here. See, it's coming up out of the ground. I'm going to break this phone, man. Hold on. You see the explosion? Boom. You see how it's round? Looks like the top of the Space Needle. You understand? You see how that explosion looked like the top of the Space Needle? That's another connection. And also, you know what that reminds me of? Because it was coming from below. You see, they're trying to tell you that something's going to come out of that explosion. Do you know what I'm saying? There's, like I said, a beast out of the sea. And that was like a sea of people. That's what they were showing you, right? And what that reminded me of was this. Audience Hall resurrection statue. Or artwork, whatever the hell it's called. The most blasphemous thing in the world. This thing, folks, is called, let me see if I can get a good image of it. Absolute blasphemy, this thing. So it's like a bunch of like skulls. I don't know what that is coming out. But look, it looks like a goat. See, this is the eye. This is the snout of the goat, and this eye is missing. See, this eye is there. That eye is gone. It's like horns. And then you have this thing, this person coming out. I'll tell you who they're saying this person is. It's coming out of a blast. Do you know what they're saying this is, this artwork? That the Pope sits right in front of this thing. See how this person is standing right there? The Pope usually sits right there. Okay? Anyway, let me just show you this. So this thing is called what does the Resurrection Audience Hall statue represent? I keep calling it a statue. Look at it. Look what it says. It's a depiction of Jesus rising from a nuclear Armageddon. You know what it said? It actually said, originally, it says, rising from a nuclear blast out of the Garden of Gethsemane. Okay? So they're saying it was Jesus. How could Jesus be rising from below, It's ridiculous. Oh, you know what they're saying? I kind of get it. They're saying when Jesus was in the grave, but you got to understand, when Jesus was crucified on the cross, his body died, but his soul was always alive. He never died, but he died on the cross. His body did. You know what I'm saying? But, his soul never died. It's ridiculous. But I guess that's what they're saying, that he came out of the grave. But they're saying it's out of a blast. That's why I'm saying it doesn't make any sense what they're talking about. And by the way, Audience Hall, AH is 1/8. That's Elvis's birthday, 1/8. And that opened, I forgot to mention that. It opened 42 or 40, something 42 to 45 days after Elvis died. It opened the same year. that was unveiled, that statue, that artwork. Because I told you Elvis is the beast out of the sea. And one of the heads of the beast out of the sea seems to have had a head wound that healed. And that's the Trump August 4th event. Okay? Are we still here? Because something's wrong with my reception is no good here. Okay. So I showed you that connection. Also, but before, let me show you the Meghan Markle connections first, before I show you the Super Bowl connection. So remember, I said that for some reason, I guess that was because she was the only famous one at the time that had a child. When I first was talking about that iPet goat, that's why it reminded me of Meghan Markle, because it also had the M in there. Anyway, so Meghan Markle, okay, the creature's born on 8/4. Okay, and look, it's 1/8/81. She was born. Elvis is born on 1/8. The creature's born in Los Angeles. Okay, but guess where her family's from? Her family, her mother is from Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, folks. And Cleveland is the 216 area code. Can you believe that? August 4th is the 216th day of the year. And I told you Trump's going to get his head wound on August 4th in Ohio. Okay? Now, so Meghan Markle, born on August 4th. Look at this. Meghan Markle equals 108, and backwards it equals 216. Look at that. And 162 is June 11th. Look at that. Elvis Aaron Presley equals 216. Elvis was born on 108. 108, and 216. June 11th. You see what I'm saying? And Markle has the EL mark, because I told you Elvis is going to be the mark. Okay? Yeah. And you know, I told you Elvis is the beast side of the sea. He's the sea goat. He's the phoenix rising. He's the kraken. Look at this. The word Markle, EL mark, equals the word kraken. Same numbers. And look, you have 8/4 again at the bottom. And June 11th equals 141. But it's the 162nd day of the year. But June 11th, when written out, equals 141. Meghan equals 48. Trump's going to get his head on 8/4. And look, if you write her whole name, her real name is Rachel Meghan Markle. Look at that. You got a 666 in there if you write out her whole name and total it. But look, it equals 155. From Elvis's birthday to 6/11 is 155 days. You see that? And the first number when written out, check this out. From Elvis's birthday to 6/11 is 155 days. The first number when written out to equal 216 is 155. So do you understand what I just showed? Okay. So from Elvis's birthday to 6/11 is 155 days. The creature's name is 155. The total. Okay? And remember earlier I showed that her name, where is it? I'm going to break this phone. Look, just Meghan Markle by itself had all these connections. You know, 108, like Elvis's birth is 1-08, 216 backwards. Elvis Aaron Presley equals 216. You had all these connections. Look. And look, her full name equaled 155. And I just told you from Elvis's birthday to June 11th. So again, June 11th has to connect to August 4th. From Elvis's birthday is 155 days. 155 is the first number when written out that equals 216. See? And 216 is connected to August 4th, the 216th day of the year. Do you see what I'm talking about? How everything has to connect to each other, to the August 4th, okay? And you know the 150, and we're talking about the 155, right? From Elvis's birthday to June 11th is 155 days. Look, the prime number, 155, 907. The 155th prime number is 907. The prime number is 907. If you add the 155 to the 907, you get 1062. See, 162nd day of the year is June 11th. You get 162 right there with the O. The O is a crown. I told you that. Anytime you see the 3 or an O, it's a crown. Like George W. Bush. W. Bush was the 9/11 president, Junior. W is a crown, and the O is like a portal, a head, a face, an egg, a womb, a matrix, whatever you want to call it. But it's the crowns. Okay? Now, and you know what else reminds me of Meghan Markle? And you know who was the last? And remember, the creature's born on August 4th. And you know August 4th's reverse date is 529. 529 is JFK's birthday. JFK's the one who got the head wound. So August 4th's reverse date is May 29. May 29 is when JFK was born. And the reason I'm showing you that is because guess who was involved with JFK? Marilyn Monroe. You know, and this Meghan Markle hates Trump, right? Obviously, they couldn't have that creature be involved. But Meghan Markle was connected to Marilyn Monroe. JFK was connected to Marilyn Monroe. Okay? Same initials, mind you. And what happened to Marilyn Monroe? Okay? Look. Marilyn Monroe, remember, she was connected to JFK, who got the head wound. Marilyn Monroe's birth is on 6/1, and she died on 8/4. And remember, Meghan Markle's born on 8/4. So the creature's born on her birthday is on 6/1, death on 8/4. When was Obama born? 8/4/61. You see that? 8/4/61. Are you seeing it? Are you getting that? What I'm showing? And you know the word queen equals 6226. The word queen equals 6226. And that's when the queen was born in the year 26. That's when Marilyn Monroe was born too. And she died in 62. And the Space Needle opened on 4/21 in 1962. And 4/21's reverse date is 9/11. And 4 times 21 equals 84. You see how it's all connected? The Queen was born on 4/21. That's the same day the Space Needle in Seattle opened. 4 times 21 equals 84. And you know, I'm just saying, Marilyn Monroe, Meghan Markle, do you understand? And they're showing Meghan Markle as the Super Bowl trophy, 6/11, and she's born on 8/4. You see how it's all connected? Because when did Marilyn Monroe? She was born on 6/1 and she died on 8/4, you know. Okay? I'm just saying, these weird coincidences, you know. Anyway, what else can I show here? Give me a second, my hand's about to fall off. All right, just give me a second to listen. Does any of this have listen, because what I was talking about a few years ago, in the not the last Super Bowl, but the one before that, there was rumors that she was going to be, her and Prince Fairy were going to be at the Super Bowl, but they didn't show up. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, is it maybe this year they might show up, you know? Anyway, let me just show you some Super Bowl connections with this. Okay? I mean, could it be that there might be some type of sacrifice? Do you know what I mean? On that day, on the Super Bowl day, which would connect, you know, to death and destruction, also to, you know, imply that for the June 11th, because it's a Super Bowl trophy, is 6/11. You understand? Okay? Now, actually, before I show the Super Bowl thing, let me just get this out of the way. So, you know, Princess Diana, which has the Di in it, D-I, right? Princess Di, they were calling her. Di is the 4-9, 9-4 connection. D is 4 and I is 9. That's my birthday, 9/4. Anyway, so Princess Di was born the same year as no. I'm sorry. She was Princess Di was born the same year Obama was born. Okay, give me a second here. Look at from Princess Diana. Her Forget about the amount of months and days. What I just showed here is the years. Now watch. Why am I showing that? Because look, Princess Di to Meghan Markle's birth is 20 years, and then from Meghan Markle to Princess Di's death is 16 years. And that's the 162 or the 216. 162 is June 11th, 216 is August 4th, with a crown. The O is a crown. And I told you Elvis died in the 16th state and he was born in the 20th state. Mississippi's the 20th state, Tennessee's the 16th state where he died. So you see, everything's connected, you know. And the 16th president was assassinated, the 20th president was assassinated, and then the 25th, right? Anyway, listen, I've shown all that, but Prince Harry. Here's a connection with Prince Harry. Check this out. Because remember, maybe there's a possibility something's going to happen. Let me just show you this. From Prince Harry's birth, and notice when he's born, 8/4. I mean the year 84. Okay, so from 8/4, from the year he was born to the Super Bowl date is 15,122 days. Why is that important? Because from Trump's birthday to the day Obama's born is 15 years, 1 month, 22 days. Wait a minute, did I do that right? What is this? Yeah, isn't that weird? 15,122 days. And this is 15 years, 1 month, 22 days from Trump's birth to August 4th. And, I told you 6 times 14 equals 84. And Trump's gonna get his head on 8/4, which is Obama's birthday. That's Trump's birthday. That's Obama's birth. I don't know. That was just a weird coincidence. And then from Obama's birth to Prince Ferry, look at that. It's 8,444 days. And I told you that Obama, he's born on 8/4 and he was the 44th president. 8/4/44. August is the 8th month. Then 12 months later, it'd be the 20th month. 12 months later, it'd be the 32nd month. 12 months later, it'd be the 44th month. So 8/4/44. Obama's born 8/4, president number 44. From Obama's birth to Prince Ferry, 8/4/44. And he's born in the year 84. You see that? I don't know. I'm just asking. Are these just coincidences? Maybe they are. And Prince William, his brother, he was born on 6/21. And in the UK, they say the date backwards, 21/6, which is August 4th, the 216th day of the year. And when did Prince William get baptized? August 4th, 45 days after 6/21. And who's the 45th president? You see what I'm saying? Are we in agreement that this is like crazy coincidences? Are we in agreement with this? And do you know when check this out. I forgot to put this in. Where is it? You know that when Prince William got baptized, 8/4. Because I told you that Queen Elizabeth is King Charles's mother, but who is Queen Elizabeth's mother? It's known as the Queen Mother. When was the Queen Mother born?
Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, was born on August 4th, 1900.
You see? That creature was born on August 4th, too. And when I always show you guys this, when would George Washington become a master mason? Look, see? August 4th. He became a master mason, see? August 4th. It's just stupid noises. It's like a clown show outside. Anyway, so he August 4th, and you know his estate it's called George Washington Birthplace. The phone number is 804. For the phone number is 804 for that place. Yeah. Anyway, what was I showing now? Give me a second here. Now, before I show you the hold on one second. Let me just show you this. And speaking of 162, because June 11th is the 162nd day of the year. Hold on. Give me a second here. Check this out. You know the Super Bowl 60 is coming, right? Why is my phone not working, man? Oh my goodness. The phone's about to go off, man. So Meghan Markle, from her birth to Super Bowl 60, look at this. From the exact birth to Super Bowl 60 is 16260. 162 is June 11th. And you have 60, which is Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And you know, there's all kinds of things you could say here, you know, with that. But it's just interesting, the numbers for that, you know. But here's the interesting thing, because remember, if you saw my Super Bowl video, I was telling you that that it's a possibility that, because it's being held at Levi's Stadium, Levi's is Elvis, the name, and it could be Seattle in the Super Bowl or 49ers, you know. I mean, there's a few others, but from the Seattle winning its only Super Bowl, which was the 48th Super Bowl, 8448, get it? And Elvis has been Elvis is going to be 48 years dead on August 16th this year. On August 16th, he's going to be 48 years dead. Okay, so that'll be connected to next year, right? But look, so the 48th Super Bowl to this year, August 4th, Trump's headwind possibility this year. Look at that, 11 years, 6 months, 3 days. And the 3 is a crown, I told you. So you have 611 with a crown on it. You see? From the Seattle winning the Super Bowl, because it's a 48, get it? 8448. You see? Oh, you know what? I just saw something. Now I forgot what it is. Oh, this is interesting because look, you see it says 8-4 and the Super Bowl was on 2-2 and 8-4. I just noticed that. Let me give you this little tidbit. Look, it's not even going to show my face. My phone has stopped working, folks. It won't switch over. Look at this. It is so ridiculous, man. It's glitching out my phone. If it does go off, I'll be right back. It'll come right back on. And then it starts actually working normal. Once it shuts off, I come right back. But anyway, so from Pearl Harbor to this Super Bowl is 84 years, 2 months, and 2 days. It's interesting because I just showed you Seattle won its 48th Super Bowl on 2-2 in the year 2014 to Trump's headwind this year on August 4th is, so you have 2-2 and 8-4, and which is, I just told you, from Pearl Harbor to the Super Bowl is 84 years, 2 months, 2 days. So that's interesting. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, let me just go back to showing this real quick. Let me just go back to this whole. So remember, I just showed you that from Seattle winning its only Super Bowl to Trump's head win this year, if it happens, it's 6-11 with a crown, right? The 3 is a crown, the W. And Washington is 6-11, get it? And from the Super Bowl, this is from the 48 Super Bowl to 8-4, Trump's head win this year. But what about this? Look, from Seattle winning its only Super Bowl, the 48, to next year's Super Bowl, look at that. It's 12 years, 7 days. There's the 12-7 again. That's the Pearl Harbor date, man. You see? Are you understanding what I'm saying? And from Pearl Harbor, it's 84 years, right? From actually Pearl Harbor. So, oh man, stupid. So from Seattle winning a Super Bowl, you have the 11-6, 6-11 connection, right? To August 4th, Trump had won the 8-4, get it? 12 times 7 is 84. From the Super Bowl, the Seattle one to the Super Bowl next year is 12-7. You see what I mean? How it's all connected to the Pearl Harbor. And Pearl Harbor, it's been 84 years since Pearl Harbor, you know? I mean, I hope you guys are getting what I'm showing, man. And remember that from Elvis's birthday to Pearl Harbor was 6 years, 11 months. It's the 6-11 connection. And Pearl Harbor was on 12-7. It's not switching over again. Hold on, folks. Man, I'm going to break this phone. YouTube is messing with me so bad, folks. You see? You see what happened? You see? You see what happened? It completely went off. For the people, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that in the replay, but for everyone, it actually went off completely and I had to come back. Anyway, so now it's going to start working for a few minutes at least. Anyway, so you guys understood that, right? Is anyone in the chat didn't understand what I just showed? So you had the 6-11 connection and the Pearl Harbor connection, which is 12-7, the date, 12 times 7 is 84. So everything is 6-11 and 8-4. Because from Elvis's birthday to Pearl Harbor was 6 years, 11 months. You know, and now it's been 84 years from Pearl Harbor. Don't you understand? It's the next Pearl Harbor, they're telling you. Okay? Now, I'll show that at the end. So now, who could be the one that's going to be playing at the? And by the way, let me find out something. Did Meghan Markle and Prince Harry have an Elvis impersonator at their wedding? Hold on. There was they weren't at the wedding, not that wedding. I'm saying at the, hold on. Elvis with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. And this is unbelievable. I'm telling you, folks, they literally had images of Elvis marrying Prince Harry. Does anyone remember that? I mean, it was like a... Man, this is unbelievable. Elvis impersonator with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. This is unbelievable. Does anyone remember this? I showed it. Where is it? Here it is. Here's the image. Here's the image, finally. This was, I don't know where this was, but it was an Elvis impersonator, and that was Prince Harry and Meghan. Asked me, they said it was some kind of wedding ceremony or something when they first came out. But now I can't. I'm telling you, that's what they were saying. The news was saying that they had an Elvis priest, or not an Elvis person marrying them. That was the storyline. But I can't find it now. Yeah, but anyway. All right. Anyway, so now who's going to be the musical guest at the Super Bowl? I put out a few things that it could possibly be. I'm not going to go to just go watch the Super Bowl video. You got to go watch that Super Bowl video. Can you guys hear me? Someone's saying they can't hear me. Is my volume okay? Sound is low. What are you guys talking about? I'm talking as loud as I can. Yeah. Yeah. If you guys can't hear me, it's because of you. It's not. I rarely have volume problems. All right. Anyway, so who could be like, who's the most likely person to do it? To me, it would be Taylor Swift. That would be the most likely person. But even if it's not, because maybe they might have a rock and roll theme because it's at Levi's Stadium. Levi's is Elvis, so maybe it might not be. But then again, it all connects. Because if you watch that other one, I said one of the people that could be the Foo Fighters or something, but only because they mentioned it. But because it has the connection with Seattle with David Grohl or something like that. I don't remember what I said in that video, but I'm thinking it's Taylor Swift because I was telling everyone that Taylor Swift is the girl in the video, in the I Pet Goat video. This one, okay. This is her. This is Taylor Swift holding the apple, okay? And in the classroom. And in that classroom, she's holding the apple. She's the 13th child in that, because there's 12 kids around her. She's the 13th. Oh, that would be a good one if it was Pearl Jam, but they're not still around, are they? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, or somebody named Pearl or something. Yeah. Anyway, so Taylor Swift. I forgot what I was saying about this. She's the 13th child in the classroom in that video, the I Pet Goat video. This is that video I was showing you earlier with the Pearl Harbor connection and the Super Bowl trophy connection. So this person who I'm saying is Taylor Swift, and how because look at this. When did Taylor Swift win Apple Entertainer of the Year? Well, it was actually November 8th, 2023. But the news so basically it was all the way into 2024, into the new year. But she won Apple Music, and you know who does the Super Bowl halftime show? Apple. Who does the Super Bowl halftime shows? Oh. Who sponsors the Super Bowl halftime music show? See? Apple Music, see? The Apple Music. Okay, so we have the Apple connection, Okay. Now, why am I bringing that up? Because she won Apple Entertainer of the Year in 2023, right? In the end of 2023. So all the way into 2024, she was still the one, right? And why am I bringing that up? Because look what she looked like that day. Taylor Swift wins. Oh no, I'm sorry. No. That day I don't know what she looked like. It doesn't matter that day. Uh, when she won her, because remember she was the 13th child, the one holding the apple, and she had just won the Apple Entertainer of the Year, and in February, like 3 months later, uh, she was at the Grammys winning her 13th Grammy. And the first time she went to the Super Bowl, that Super Bowl game that she attended, was the 13th game she had been to, right? Is that correct? The 13th football game that Taylor Swift attended was the Super Bowl? What? Yeah, it was. Does anyone remember that? I know that it was the 13th. Yeah, the Super Bowl was Swift's 13th game that she's attended since whatever, I don't know, but it's saying that. It's a CNN story right there. All right. So the 13th game was the Super Bowl game, right? And bear with me, folks. You don't understand. There's so much in my mind, okay? No, we don't know who's playing at the 2026 Super Bowl. Do you know already? Did it come out? No, it doesn't. They didn't come out with it yet. All right. Hold on. Yeah, it was the 13th Chiefs game since she was dating. Because who was she dating? She was dating Elvis Presley. I mean, Travis Kelce. Same name. Travis, Elvis, Kelce Presley. You understand? Travis Kelce, Elvis Presley. And it won the Super Bowl. Okay? And it was the 13th game was the Super Bowl. And what did Travis Kelce do when he won the Super Bowl that year with her there? The 13th, right? Travis Kelce singing Viva Las Vegas with the trophy. So again, folks, I ask you.
Singing Viva Las Vegas with the trophy.
I didn't get the Travis Kelce part. My phone is just completely messed up, man. So this is Travis Kelce holding the trophy. See, he's holding the trophy. Don't you understand? Travis Kelce, Elvis Presley, is holding the trophy, and the trophy is the Vince Lombardi trophy, who's born on June 11th. Are you understanding it? They're telling you that's his trophy. And he was singing Viva Las Vegas. Whose song is that? Elvis. Elvis's song is Viva Las Vegas. And in that song, he even says the words, he's the devil. Something in that song, too. He says, I'm a devil and the devil, something. I can't remember. But anyway. But do you get it? Travis Kelce, Elvis Presley. All right. And she's the 13th kid in that classroom in that I Pet Goat video. And I told you I Pet Goat equals Elvis God. Same exact numbers for that. Now, So that's Elvis Presley with Travis Kelce, Elvis Presley with that creature Taylor Swift, right? And the creature's holding an apple. She's the Apple Music Entertainer of the Year, and then wins the Super Bowl. And then she goes to the Grammys and wins her 13th Grammy after that right before the Super Bowl. She won her 13th Grammy. Oh, look at that, 6:11 right now. The time right here in California is 6:11. Anyway, so and when she won her 13th Grammy, look what she looked like. Taylor Swift winning her 13th Grammy at the Grammys. Look what she looked like. So I'm just asking, is it a coincidence that she's got her hair to the side, wearing all white gown? I need to get a better image because it's not enough, this one. I want you to see the whole gown. Yeah, they're not really here. Let me just show this one real quick. So she's wearing all white. You see? It's all white, but she got her leg out. If she didn't have her leg out, it'd be kind of like all the way around the white part, like that girl has it. And look at her hair. See? To the side, wearing white. Okay? Hold on. Oh yeah, somebody just sent me something to do with Taylor Swift and pearls. Look, see? The creature has pearls, and it says pearls. I think it's something to do with a song, and with the person named Zella Day. I don't know, Zella Day. I don't know what that is. I guess it's a song, huh? Something to do with pearls. Glisten. Oh, glisten of the pearls. Glisten. Anyway. So that's the name of the song. Glisten. Glisten of the pearls. All right. That's a good one. So another pearl connection. All right. Because we're talking about Pearl Harbor. Give me a second here. Nice. Something about the White Lotus. So I don't know. Does this something to do with the White Lotus? This pearl thing? I'm not sure. But anyway, so the creature's dating Travis Kelce. Oh, I forgot. I was showing what the creature looked like that night. See? With her hair to the side, wearing all white, right? Hair to the side. The 13th Grammy, right? And I just explained to you, look, hair to the side, and she's the 13th child, and she was Apple Entertainer of the Year when she won the Grammys. She was still the one because it happened a couple months right before she went to the Grammys. She's wearing all white, hair to the side, right? Are you getting that? Okay, and she's the Apple Entertainer of the Year. And remember, Apple Music does the halftime show. Okay, and they just took over like 4 or 5 years ago from Pepsi. Okay, and and of course, it also represents Trump, because of the blonde hair, But there's also other things that connect to Trump in that video, even with the children. But look, I made a face with stupid with her on it. You see, with holding the apple. And what is the story with the apple? Let me tell you what happens in the video. You got to watch it, okay? Let's watch it real quick. We got to see the part where the apple drops, Oh yeah. When was that person born, Truth Hound? Look it up. When that Gretchen Wilson was born. The one you're talking about. All right, here comes the part. Look. See, look. She's awake. Then all of a sudden it goes dark. And she drops the apple, goes across the floor. It hits Obama's boot. And Obama and Bush was wearing that boot too, but it hit Obama's boot and it lands. You'll see where I'm going to show you right now. So what did we see there? She's holding it. Then all of a sudden darkness comes. Do you understand? Darkness comes as if something happened. And then she drops the apple. And what does the apple represent? Besides the biblical. Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I see what you wrote. Yeah. She drops the apple. By the way, folks, I'm looking at the chat. That's why I'm talking, out of whatever. But anyway, so she drops the apple. It goes dark. Okay? And she drops the apple. And what does the apple represent besides the biblical thing? Oh, I thought I took a picture of it. I think I did, yeah. Here it is. See, the apple state. You see, Washington is called the evergreen state, okay? And that's why it's called the Emerald City and everything connecting. I've talked about all the Oz, Wizard of Oz stuff. Washington is the apple state, okay? And how does that connect? Because 9/11 happened in the Big Apple. Manhattan is the Big Apple, you understand? New York City. New York. And now Washington, get it? Is the another apple connection, okay? Washington State, okay? And just like I've shown in my videos, that when Trump was announced the winner, not the day the voting, when they were announced the winner, when he was announced winner, the first time back in 2016, it was on 11/9, which is like 9/11, right? 11/9. And when did he win in 2024? Announced the winner. It was on 11/6. Because the voting was the day before, but the announcement came the morning after 11/6. So you have 11/9, 9/11, or 11/6. And I told you that I'm not going to get into it, but you understand the 45, 47 is the 9/11. Yeah. But anyway, okay, let me keep going here. I'm losing my train of thought. So why do I think that Taylor Swift is going to be... Oh, about the apple. Let me explain what the apple is. So when the apple hits Obama's boot, then it goes back, okay? And then they show... What do they show? They show the apple splitting. Because I told you that's what they're going to do. They're going to take a chunk out of... I don't know, man. I can't get my phone to... They're going to take a chunk out of Washington State. And what did it do? It split in half, and then a lotus came out. The lotus represents rebirth. Okay? And so they split the apple, Washington State, get it? And what did it do? Half of it went into the sea, get it? C. L-C. L means like Elvis, C. Okay? Half of the apple went into the sea. That's what they're telling you. They're going to take a chunk out of it, okay? Yeah, that's right. Someone mentioned Chiefs. That's right. Chiefs is like the commander-in-chief, right? And could it be the Washington Commanders? I don't know, because I'll tell you why. Even they, I guess, could have a chance because the 26th Super Bowl, Donald Trump was at the 26th Super Bowl, and next year is 26, and God equals 26. And Trump was at the 26th Super Bowl, and Washington Redskins won the 26th Super Bowl. So, like I said, I still think it's going to be Seattle or 49ers, but it could be any of the other ones. I don't know, Dallas Cowboys or Washington. I don't know, but because of the Texas connection. But anyway, so the LC, get it? And the Lotus, because the Elvis is the Phoenix Rising. He's the B side of the C. The Lotus represents rebirth. I told you that. Okay. Now, you see, what's Taylor Swift's favorite number, folks? Remember, she's the 13th girl in the classroom she represents. This is the 13th girl in the classroom. She's surrounded by 12 children. So she would be the 13th. And she represents that girl in the iPad goat. And what's her favorite number? 13. And why is 31 her other favorite number? Because it's the reverse of 13. 13's reverse is 31. That's why it's her favorite number. 13 and 31, right? And I just explained about the 13 stuff. How she was dressed when she won the 13th Grammy, the Super Bowl 13th. Travis Kelce was singing Elvis's song while holding the June 11th trophy. Okay? Travis Kelce, Elvis Presley. Anyway, her favorite numbers are 13 and 31. Why is that important? Because her favorite numbers are 13 and 31. Why is that important? Because the 6th prime number is 13 and the 11th prime number is 31. You see that? So the 611 connects to her favorite numbers. I mean, come on, man. You got to be kidding me, right? And give me a second. And how does this connect to the other two predictions? I mean, the other two events, which was besides it connecting to June 11th, her favorite numbers, how does it connect to 9/11 and Pearl Harbor? Look at this. So if you take the 13 and 31, which is her favorite numbers, which connects to 6 and 11, the 13th prime is 41, the 31st prime is 127. That's Pearl Harbor. 1, 2, 12, 7, 41. So her favorite numbers connect to Pearl Harbor and to 6/11. And from Elvis's birthday to Pearl Harbor was 6 years, 11 months, right? You see how it connects? Her favorite numbers? Now, how does this connect to 9/11? How are we going to connect it to 9/11? Because look, 9/11's prime numbers for 9/11, 20/01, because you know how we say 2025, 2026, 9/11, 20/01. Look, 9/11, 20/01, the prime numbers adds up to 127, and if you add up 9 plus 11 plus 20 plus 1 is 41. And why is that important? Because that's when Pearl Harbor happened. 12/7/41, man. And that's the 13th and 31st prime connecting to 6/11. Are you understanding what I'm showing you, man? So the 9/11 connects to Pearl Harbor's date, 12/7/41. 12/7/41. You see what I'm talking about? And Pearl Harbor connects to Elvis's birthday, 6 years, 11 months. 6 prime is 13, 11 prime is 31. That's her favorite numbers. Do you understand? I mean, how much more clear can you get, man? I mean, it's impossible, right? You know? I mean, what else can I show you to make you guys understand how perfect this is, you know? Yeah, I'll talk about that in a moment. Somebody and look at this. From Elvis's birth to Taylor Swift's birth within the same year, 11 months, 6 days. If you add the day, it's 11 months, 6 days in between. You see? You know? Okay? Just more ridiculous connections, you see? Hold on one second. Give me a second. Yeah, I've talked about what VIS means. Yeah. VIS in Elvis is actually, besides the meaning of the word power or wisdom and all that stuff, it actually, the VIS has to do with the Roman numerals. VI is 6, and then S means more than one, so you have sixes. He's the god of sixes. EL means God in Hebrew. So Elvis means God of sixes. Okay? But the meaning of VIS is wisdom, power, strength, force. But anyway, so here's the last thing I'm going to show here. I think that's it. Oh, one last thing here. I don't know, whether this is important or not, but I'm going to show it. I didn't even redo the cards. That's why it's kind of messy. There's no such thing as a bad number, folks. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad number. It's just a number that the devil needs to fulfill whatever magical numerical equation it needs to do. Anyway, make sure you guys thumb up the video, man. Shameful. How could this video not have 70 thumbs up with 70 people in the chat? Sickening. You people make me sick. Man, you people make me sick. Anyway. All right, where am I? All right, just as the last thing on the show. Give me a second here. So, next year is the year 26, And, the 26 prime is 101. So you have the 6 with the 1 there. 611, you see it? All right. And if you add the 26 to the 101, you get 127. There's that Pearl Harbor date again. You see what I mean? So you have all the connections again with the numbers, because Pearl Harbor happened on 12/7. And you remember I told you the trophy, hold on one second. The owner of my building just walked by. I wonder what's he doing. Anyway, so Vince Lombardi, the Super Bowl trophy, it's named after him. He's born on June 11th, right? Look at this. From Elvis's birth, look at this. From Vince Lombardi's birth, his birthday, that he's born on 6/11/1913, to the day Elvis was born, look at that. 21 years, 6 months, and 29 days. And this is important, but I'm not going to show you what that is right now. But look at that, 21/6. That's August 4th, the 216th day, or June 11th, the 162nd day. Okay? Look at that, 21 years, 6 months in between, and a bunch of days. But that's from Vince Lombardi's birth to Elvis's birth. Now look at this. From Vince Lombardi's death to Elvis's death, look at this. Look at this. First of all, 9/11 is the 254th day of the year, and you have a crown, the O. But look at this: 6 years, 11 months, 14 days. Can you believe that? That's 6/11, and then Trump's birthday, 6/14. 6 times 14 equals 84, and 6 times 11 equals 66. And that's how many days and years and months. It was 66 years, 8 months, 4 days in between Elvis's birthday and 9/11. It was 66 years, 8 months, 4 days. 6 times 11 is 66. 6 times 14 is 84. And look at that, 777, jackpot number. You know. And by the way, the 45th prime is 197. Even the years have connections, you know. And I could show you much more connections with that. But anyway, so that's just it, folks. I basically, you know, I drowned us in information here. But anyway, the point is that I don't know about the Super Bowl thing. I'm just throwing stuff out there with the Super Bowl. All I know is that everything has to do with June 11th and August 4th. That you don't. The Super Bowl is just me trying to, you know, possibly predict some, you know, predictive programming event. That is not supernatural. What's supernatural is my two predictions of Trump getting his head wound on August 4th, and June 11th is the Washington State event, which connects to Elvis, because Elvis is the beast out of the sea. It's literally the biblical beast out of the sea event that you're going to see on June 11th. Okay? And when that beast rises, I'm not saying it's going to be a literal beast. Elvis's image is going to rise out of that event. And the number of his name or his image is going to come out of that event. And when the beast rises, it says one of its heads, in the book of Revelation, it says that one of the heads of the beast that rises seems to have had a head wound that healed, and the world wondered after the beast whose deadly head wound was healed. Okay? And that's the Trump event on August 4th. Okay? Hold on. Let me just show this real quick. And this is what I mean by, is it possible that his image comes out of this? Maybe this is the part that they take out in Washington State. Because see, this is Seattle right here. And this is in King County. I told you Elvis was known as the king, right? Seattle's in King County, is right here. And during the pandemic, they were calling this place the Chop Zone. Chop Zone. Because the whole pandemic had to do with Elvis, the 19 crown, and Lucifer. I've explained that. Elvis represents who Lucifer was in heaven. Then he became Satan, okay? Elvis is the representation of Satan. He's the real Antichrist. Trump is the image of the Antichrist. Anyway, so they were calling this place the Chop Zone. So if they were to chop this off, this area, they would be chopping off Elvis, see? See how his hair, see that's the top of the hair? His head. I've been showing this for years, folks, all these connections, okay? And it's just coming full circle now because of the Pearl Harbor being 84 years from the time it happened. See, they had to wait for it to hit the 84 mark. All right? Anyway, so they were calling it the Chop Zone. And Elvis died at the age of 42. Washington's the 42nd state. And chop equals 42, you know? All right. Like I said, I could go on all night and day with the connection. You got to watch my live streams if you're new to the channel, okay? I can't show you every connection in one video. Any last words? I'll stay on another, 5-10 minutes to answer anybody's questions. Yeah, like I said, folks, trying to explain the unexplainable. That's what you're seeing me do. These trying to tell people that the biblical beast out of the sea event has to do with Elvis is like, trying to explain, whatever, rocket science to somebody with one IQ, anyway, the point is that the reason that they're doing this, why? Because why am I saying that Elvis is the real Antichrist and Trump is the Antichrist in the flesh? Because they're copying God. When Jesus was walking the earth as God in the flesh, God was still in heaven. Okay? God was still in heaven while Jesus, who is God, was walking the earth. Okay? That's what they're doing. Elvis is playing God in heaven. Trump's playing God in the flesh. And what happened to God in the flesh? He was crucified. Okay? He was crucified. And that's what they're going to do with Trump, you know? But of course, it's going to be a fake, counterfeit, you know, event. Okay? What they're going to do with Trump, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I mentioned that, what you're talking about. Yeah. The Leviathan, yeah. Because his name is got the Levi in it. Levi's. Yep. He's the beast out of the sea. Yep. And that's why the Super Bowl is at Levi's Stadium. Elvis is Levi's. Anyway, folks, got to watch that video, the Super Bowl video, and just watch all my live streams. All right. Anyway, what else was I saying? I think that was it. Like I said, the biblical beast out of the sea, it says one of its heads seemed to have had a head wound, a deadly head wound that was healed. Not the event. I'll get into that thing. I've talked about that already. The supposed ear thing. We've already shown all the connections with that. I'm not going to show it in this video. I'm going to show it in the next video. All right. Anyway, anyone who misses, I'm going to end the video right now. You can just rewatch it. All right. Make sure you watch it from beginning to end if you just got in. Okay. I just want to make sure I showed everything before I end the video. I think I did. Just think about just think about what I showed about the hold on, let me turn off this. Just think about what I showed with the connection with that Meghan Markle. Think about how weird that was with the pearl and the, what was the other one? I can't remember. Oh, and the perfume. Look at that. Pearl and perfume, both the pee-pee. All right, folks. Last minute. Anyone have anything left to say it now, because I'm going to delete the video. I'm going to end the video. I'm not deleting it. Yeah, don't cast your pearls before swine. That's right. Yeah, another pearl reference. Anyway, any last words, folks? Yeah, God bless you. Appreciate it. God bless everyone in the chat. Hey, make sure you guys thumb up the video, man. Before you go, thumb up the video. And make sure you comment under the video too, after it's, after you see the comment section. All right. Yeah, you're welcome. God bless you. All right. Last 30 seconds, folks. Anyone who gotten late, you got to watch the whole video from beginning to end. All right. I did my best. This is all I can do, folks. I'm not like those other guys. Like other people, they know how to make the videos more fluid, Oh, by the way, I might come back on live. Oh no, If I did, it would be like 3 hours from now, but I doubt it. I'm going to wait till tomorrow. I'm going to give it a rest tonight. But if for some reason I come back, it would be like three hours from now, but I doubt it. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow morning. Anyway. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, I have no idea what you're talking about. All right, talk about that in a different video because I don't know what you're saying. Anyway, make sure you thumb up the video, folks. Thumb up the video and comment under the video. All right? You're not doing it for me. You're doing it for the algorithm. I could care less. All right? All right. God bless all of you. Jesus is God. End of video.